Welcome. Let's take a look at percent of change problems. A couple of them here that we'll look at how they're done. A limousine rents for $85 an hour plus a 7% sales tax. What's the total cost for an 8-hour rental? Well, one of the things I would think of here is I'm going to make an equation. It doesn't say make an equation, but I'm going to do that because that will help us with doing it. So I'm going to call the total cost C, and then the number of hours we don't know yet, so that's H, and actually those are only variables. So we're going to figure out what the total cost is, and it's going to be $85 times the number of hours, but there's also a sales tax. So let's take a look at what's involved with that. At 7%, first it's 0.07, although I like to always put a leading 0 so we know that that's a decimal there. 0.07 is the amount, and the sales tax is that percentage times the total amount of money that someone's having to pay, which in this case is the $85 per hour. So you pay sales tax on what the value of the thing is worth. So if you only rented it for 1 hour, you'd be paying 0.07 times 85, and that would be the sales tax that's given to the government. So let's write that down on here. And 85H. So that's our equation. Okay. By the way, be really careful to make sure you do remember this about the percents. If you forget to do the decimal thing, then you end up with wrong answers. And so always remember, you actually can't use percents when you're doing calculations with any type of equation. All right, so we've gotten this much. Now, we're going to say that H equals 8. And so we're going to say C is 85 times 8 plus 0.07, 85 times 8. So this comes to 680. And this comes to 680. So we have is 680 plus 0.07, 680. Okay, which is 680 plus $47.60. Gee, that's a lot of tax in my opinion, but still would have to pay it. And when you put those together, that means the cost is $727 and 0.6 here, or 0.60. We can say total cost is $727.60. Now let's apply this in a different way here with an increase not based on sales tax, but still an increase. Okay, the average cost of gas in North Carolina increased 73% from 2006 to 2007. We are given here what the 2006 cost was. We need to know what the cost was in 2007. Okay. So what we're going to look at, there's a couple of ways to think about this. We're going to start by simply looking at it as an increase. So if the 2006 cost of gasoline was $2.07, we know that that has to go up by 73%. So if it's going to go up, that means we're adding, and we're going to add 73%. Notice what I did. In fact, I'm going to actually rewrite this just to emphasize for everyone. It's plus 73%. Oh, no, actually now. Yeah, I guess there's a way. But what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm going to do this. I guess I'll do this as A. So it's $2.07 plus 73% of what? You have to multiply that something. So it's 73% of that 2.07. Okay, so 2.07 plus 0.73 times 2.07. So important to notice that you have to change that. So this becomes 2.07 plus 1.51, $1.51, because 73% of 2.07 is $1.51 or $1.51. And that means that the amount here is $3.58. Okay, now let's talk for a moment about that. I will put yellow around it. That's what the cost is. Many times, so I wouldn't really call that A, I would just say partially there for this. Partially there would be that some people figure out what the percent is. They do the 73% times 2.07, and they get 1.51 by doing 0.73, and they get the $1.51, but then they stop there. If you do that, if you get the increase, don't stop there. Add it to beginning amount. That makes it a two-step thing. You get the $1.51, then you add it to 207. You can already do that if you set up the equation that way. Okay, so I actually should write here as like an equal sign with it. Okay, 2007 cost would be equal to the 2006 cost plus the increase times the 2006 cost. So that's what this equation is actually doing. It's the thinking then, well, it's not even really a variable in there. You're not actually solving for it. You're just solving for a variable. You're just getting the amount. So that 2006 amount plus the increase from that of that 2006 amount, which is that $1.51. So if you do the $1.51 alone, don't forget to add it in. And that's a very vital, important part of that. All right. I hope that helps with recognizing what to do with a some or most percent of change type problems. Thank you for listening and watching.